Hey, what's up, everybody? Merry Christmas. I hope you're doing well. I had to take my headband off because it kept banging against my ring light overhead. But what better otherwise reason to then just share this Christmas cheer with you? I hope you're having a wonderful day, or you've had a wonderful day, because honestly, the hour is definitely late at this point on Christmas. So this may or may not even post before the day after. But what better thing what better thing than a gift on Christmas than gifts after Christmas, quite honestly. I love receiving late gifts after Christmas, after birthday. So here you go. You're welcome. No, but I really do hope that you had a wonderful day today, celebrating or resting or working or doing whatever it is that you do. Maybe there was no special observance at all. Either way, I just hope that you had a great day and that you're continuing to cultivate a spirit of joy and peace and grace and love no matter what. All right, so with that being said, let me cut the cards a bit. And yeah, like I yesterday my son insisted that I take off. Honestly, we did a whole bunch of our New Year's Eve type stuff, and it's been really a long 2 days. Honestly, I feel like I'm on fumes right now. I'm quite a bit tired, but I didn't want to miss another day to connect in this space. But we were up late last night watching Christmas movies, and then he was up super early this morning opening his gifts, and then it was just kind of like continuing on from there between gifts. And I lost 2 nails. They got two casualties in the shuffle of assembling toys today. I'll probably end up cutting them all down again, even though I was just getting to a place that I like. My nails grow pretty fast though. And it's probably best to clear my energy for the new year anyway, but I definitely didn't anticipate losing 2 thumbs today. But yeah, so it's been a long day. My energy is kind of low, but I really am happy to be here. I really do take my commitment to this space and time seriously. It's a pleasure for me, and I hope it's as good for you as it is for me, quite honestly. So let's see what we got on the bottom of the deck. Oh, come on. We're not doing this, are we? I was hoping for some positive energy it was not too late. So let me still keep the vibes high, right? But the 4 of Cups is more or less, either rejection, refusal. I heard obstinance, also abstinence. Interesting. Never heard that for this card before. What else? Did I say missing an opportunity? I don't think I said that. Sometimes it can be that, more or less it's like being resolved to abstain from some offer of sorts. Now, holistically, we see it as it being an offer from the divine, particularly of the Ace of Cups with the 4 of Cups. And someone may be perhaps fixated on the past or on some impression of what they feel is more favorable than what they're being offered, or even what is more desirable than what is what options are on the table. Someone kind of being a bit resistant to the presence of what is, to some degree. There's really not a lot I can say about this card in a higher vibe. higher vibrational sense with the Four of Cups. Until I get some more cards. So let's just see what else we got. Oh, geez, the Ten of Wands. My goodness. What are we doing here? Oh, sheesh. Ooh, High Priestess in the reverse. No secrets. Secrets are out. What's this? We got the King of Wands. I'm just taking a look, but back to this Four of Cups. Ooh. Temperance. Queen of Pentacles. The end of a burdensome cycle. Someone tried to swipe an offer. That's what I hear. And with the Seven of Swords and the Page of Cups, it's like they're feeling like they're getting away with an offer, an opportunity. Oh, okay. Well, hold up. Well, okay. Thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. But I was trying to see with the Four of Cups here. Hold on, give me a second. Leading with the Four of Cups. Oops, sorry, that's my hair from taking out my headband. Leading with the Four of Cups. Somebody feeling like they're getting away with something. And leaving someone else with a burden. Or with stress or some type of pressure to get to a place, because he's on his way somewhere, but he's being slowed down with all of these wands that he's carrying. But the thing about it is, with the Ten of Wands, it's always a matter of choice. So this maybe is someone refusing to release a burden. And then the Queen of Pentacles. I don't like how this feels. That's why I'm kind of stuck on it. Like, typically, I wouldn't even take that. You know, I wouldn't pay that no mind. I just put that back and say, all right, let's keep going. But I don't like how that feels. Let's see where we are. Oh, wow. Queen of Pentacles out again with the Temperance. What's this? Leaving someone at a crossroads or a moment of decision that is hard, perhaps. But we got the Temperance here, which is spiritual presence, angelic presence, perhaps even in the earth realm, with the Queen of Pentacles to help make some practical determination, practical decision with the Two of Swords. One that's going to be prosperous and that literally makes sense. So when I think about that spread, the Ten of Wands was going toward the Queen of Pentacles. And then what was after that? Wasn't it the Temperance again? It was. So it's some heavy angelic presence hovering, like perched, like, oh, okay. That's why I didn't like the energy, because this is someone either projecting some tainted energy toward, and particularly emotional energy, which makes a lot of sense. Okay. This is this is like heavy projection in the realm onto someone's cognitive decision making, particularly for practical matters, because there's something there's some big decision that's coming up, or some opportunity, or something's on the horizon, where there's been an influx and projection from that outside force with that Seven of Swords, the Ten of Wands, like all that heavy, dense energy. Someone's trying to shift that onto out off of themselves. First of all, that's the Four of Cups, trying to relieve themselves of that density and trying to transmit it or transfer it to someone else. So what was that? Well, we know whenever we see the Seven of Swords, this is good as canceled, because it always defeats itself. So someone's trying to project energy onto stable individuals because they're feeling very stable, unstable, and imbalanced, but it's not piercing through, at least not the way it's intended to, because this is the second time that now this Temperance has been hovering. It was right behind the Queen of Pentacles, and now it's right here, as she came out again. So, damn, y'all only take Christmas off, huh? Like, hell no. Exactly. And there's more presents. Like, when I say the angels, the ancestors, way showers, guys, it's like all hands on deck right now, because someone is really, the opposing forces are hyperactive. But once again, another defeated card with the Five of Swords. When you want to win at all costs, you usually end up defeating yourself. So it's like, not only is the security on high alert, and the barriers, like, definitely intensified right now. So, secure, lock down, barrel, and key, whatever that saying is also, it's almost like a rubber effect, like it's immediately bouncing back is what I'm feeling. That Ten of Swords, it felt like it was like it's like that Seven of Swords was seeming like it was leaving the Ten of Swords behind, but I get the sense that it's coming right back around. It's not lost. It's not left where it was intended to be. Yeah, exactly. Here's the Strength card, and that's truth with the Ace of Swords for the second time out. Man, and I'm feeling very tired, so to be honest, I don't even feel 100%, but I just did not want to miss another day in this space. But I'm going to just let Spirit speak how it will, because so yeah, ricochet, bounce back, like what was intended to land in a certain space and time didn't quite land the way it was intended to. And look, this is like the immediate bounce back. Here it is, where this person is looking pleased with his ambitions in the Five of Swords, and now here he is as a wounded warrior. And what's in the middle but the Strength card? The spirit was too strong. The will, that's what it is. The will is too strong of the intended target, because we're talking about private. It could have been some physical intentions here, especially with the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords, that there could have been an actualization of attack that was impending, or that was thwarted. Definitely intended to some degree. But but yeah, like if it wasn't physical, it was certainly meant to be psychological with those cups, and with the sword energy. That's a deadly combination for someone to project very dense emotions and heavy thoughts, poor thoughts toward a person, which you wouldn't believe. It sounds very too mystical and too fantastical to really be a practical thing. But I'm loving how the Queen of Pentacles was leading the board to kind of solidify with the Ace of Swords that it very much is so a thing, that people do sit around and project negative energy. And even if it's not, because certainly with the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords, it could be just somebody talking shit. Like literally just tearing your character up to smithereens, pretty much. You know what I mean? With word magic, which is just as witchy as anything you could fantasize or fantasticalize about. So it could be any number of those things. You know, it could have been gossip, could have been lies, could have been slander, could have been emotional projection, could have been physical intention, or, you know, intention of harm. But either way, what it still comes down to is that the projected force is now the inhabitor of that intention, you know, that very vibration. It has nowhere else to go but back. You know? Yeah. Finesse. What's this? Yeah, still chilling. That's like the Queen of Pentacles in her independent form, and this was the plan that was intended. You know, it's like, no. King of Cups. Emotional manipulation. Yep, that solidified that with the Knight of Cups. But something is still moving forward as it's been designed to do so. Yeah, I'm seeing this is like one direction. There was an intention for victory in one sense, or this here in one sense, but the forces that be, this is like an enforcer too. Again, solidifying this spiritual security that is, what can I say about this security? What is it? It's on high alert. It's just what it is, because the Chariot can be like police. It could be an agent. It could, yeah, definitely. It could be some type of law enforcer. Oh, pardon me. Oh my goodness. You never heard me do that in a reader, have you? Could be some type of law enforcer that's, you know, maybe that's what it's really giving me. So this could be very actual and practical, as a matter of fact, that somebody's physical plan was cut short, was intercepted by some real powers that be, in terms of like in the practical way, that somebody, unbeknownst to the offenders, was watching and maybe even perhaps waiting for somebody to bust a move just for the proper moment to apprehend. That's interesting. Yep. Ace of Swords thing. I never got so many Ace of Swords in one reading in my life, I don't think. Or maybe even like because this is like a real disparity here between the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. This is having a happy home life, and this is having no home at all. So somebody either is tremendously displaced on account of poor intentions or bad decisions, or maybe those catching up with them at this point in time. Damn, it's a terrible time for that. Is this like today? You know, because this late for this season, this has been giving me like, you know, Christmas decoration vibes, and it's like, did somebody get thrown out of their house today? Or get displaced today? Or is it, you know, apprehended? Because this can also be jail with the Nine of Wands. That maybe they should have stayed their ass home Yeah, because this is like, like holly and, that type of evergreen type of foliage and stuff. Yeah, that's what that's giving me. That somebody should have stayed home and celebrated. I don't know. That if is, I wonder, because it's feeling like, I don't know. I'm just picking up all types of stuff that even if they did, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like hermit cards stayed inside and minded their damn business. And there's a police again, raining on somebody's parade with the eight of wands. Yeah, somebody was working on the holiday. That's, remember I was just saying, like, y'all don't even take off for Christmas. Somebody couldn't even give it a break for Christmas, and doesn't seem like they got what they bargained for. It seems like it was a bit of a disaster. Like maybe they should have just stayed home and had some apple pie and some turkey or whatever the hell else anybody ate today, of which I had none of, by the way. Oh, snap. I had a very Italiano. Yeah, look, that's gel too. This is like, well, I mean, sometimes it just depends. But I feel like it's doubling down though, because this definitely can be like more of a mental or energetic imbalance, which could be like a living prison. The Nine of Swords, this definitely is giving me cell vibes. Like yes, like somebody is in a position where they can't do anything. They can't leave, they can't move. If this is not physically like somebody locked up, again, it's on account of the disturbance, the intention to be a disturbance that just quickly backfired. Like that energy they were looking to offer, to expel, to project, now just came back on somebody, or immediately came back on somebody from the 4 to the 9 of Swords. Maybe like just when they thought like, I can breathe, I can relax. It's like, nope. And look, over the Strength card with the Queen of Pentacles, something very tangible, like not just, yeah, this is despair, and on all accounts, emotionally, mentally, physically, materially, energetically, like somebody really screwed the pooch, as they say. Yeah, manipulation. Here it is right here. Temperance thinking they was a supreme alchemist when they were, yeah, like wait, just when they thought they could sit back, relax. Spirit said, you gonna take all this, sir. Let me here, let me pour this up for you. This is your cup. This don't belong to nobody else but you. Damn, that's crazy. Talk about a return to sender. Wow. That was the 4 of Swords again, and the 7 of Swords. Let's see, what else we got here? Let's get, well, I won't dictate. Let's just see. Let's finish this row, and then I'll go to the next. 7 of Pentacles again. Did I say 7 of Swords? I may have. I meant the 4 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles is what it was. Somebody trying to hold on for dear life. What's this? They should have stayed home. But it was that dollar. It was calling them like Pookie. Oh snap. Now for y'all that don't know who Pookie is. Oh no. Oh no, I just felt something completely different here. What's this? It looks like the king. Oh, that's the Queen of Wands. Ooh. This is really not great. I just heard so if y'all don't know who Pookie is, that's Chris Rock in his heyday, way before the slap, when he played a crackhead, more or less, a drug addict on New Jack City, classic old hood movie of the crack epidemic in the 80s. And that's what he said. Like they had him in, he was a drug addict. Then he got cleaned up. Then he was kind of working as an informant. Oh my God, there's a reason why I'm saying all this. Oh my goodness, he was working as an informant for the cops. For the detectives that were trying to take down Nino Brown, who was this big drug lord at the time, that had all these like projects locked down, and he just was a menace to society for the most part, but a product of his society, holistically as well. And so Pookie was a drug addict. Then he went back in, supposed to be undercover, like wired up and all that. And lo and behold, of course, he got strung out again because the temptation was just too much for him to withstand. He didn't have the will to withstand the temptation of all the drugs that he was just, surrounded by. So eventually, of course, he ended up smoking up again. And that was what he said. Like, not to make light of anybody that's had, that issue, but which we've all had an addiction in some way, shape, or form to something, great or small. But that's what I always hear that, like, they is calling me, talking about the pipe, the crack pipe. So, and then when I see this big ass pill and then the 5 of Wands, this is somebody that, like I said, they should have stayed their ass home, but this is somebody like on the prowl. I'm getting more of like a pill addiction than rock, but I mean, I'm not all that well versed in what the latest narcotics are out in these streets, but obviously, I don't know. But then we got these white flowers here, so it could be anything. But I was seeing it when I was like for that coin, but when seeing it with the 5 of Pentacles, it's like somebody, and what I saw with the star is healing, and somebody's feeling bad that there's a disconnect with healing here. So put all of that together to say, and then somebody being resistant to spiritual healing kind of implies that there's some type of codependency or maybe so with this couple here, and even here, this is some type of karmic connection perhaps that is not elevating to the highest good for either one of these individuals, that they both may have some type of addiction or codependency or dependency on a substance or whatever. Particularly with the 4 of Wands, it could be alcohol. I mean, with the 4 of Cups, it could be alcohol, because this is like the cup of love, unconditional love, even healing, self-love. But the 3 of Cups is like toasting to the good life, partying, drinking. By itself, it's the celebration card, but when you talk about it in the grand scheme of all of this, it's given as someone, particularly with the Queen of Wands, and then we saw the King of Wands earlier, somebody may be lacking some self-control here. So again, it's more of a self-destructive behavior than anything, and that explains the impulse to go out and kind of be on the prowl or do some strange things, perhaps for some change, maybe so, to feed or fuel this addiction or obsession or whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's out of the will of control, self-control. And that makes a lot of sense with the Strength card here. Energetically, mentally, physically, materially, like somebody is overtaken by this force outside of them. What's that? Yeah, overindulgence. Wow, this could be alcohol. it could be both, because usually, yeah, but there's the couple right here. Mm. What is this about though? Because it's the second time the Hierophant, secret society, or society, a product of, shit now. Oh, what the hell? I don't like the fact that this is like just giving me someone that really is like on the prowl, like maybe perhaps selling themselves, or just really willing to do whatever for some change. And it's definitely a reflection of these two. It's like this is a codependent connection, but they in this thing together in terms of um, trying to to satisfy their high, or their whatever their need may be. So she could be hitting the streets, you know, he could be doing some things like odd jobs or something strange, out of the ordinary, is what I really feel that's happening here. Man, this just got dark on Christmas. Why are we hearing this today? What's that? Oh, there's the kingpin. What's the victory and success for? Because it don't seem like much here. And then the damn. The victory is that, well, it's not really a victory, but see how this energy is marching right back to the King of Cups. And that's what I was saying earlier about this projection when I said emotional manipulation. The King of Cups has shown up. It's like everything that this is somebody's karma. This is what that is. This is like everything that someone has been putting out there, throwing out there, as I said, projecting to others to relieve himself when he was in a higher position. Okay, so that's the difference. Once upon a time, this masculine energy is what I'm feeling, was in a higher position. Well, perhaps with the feminine too, because that's why she's here. But they were in a higher position, maybe, quite successfully and definitely materially, to support whatever this habit is and whatever lifestyle that this was. It's only become as dire and desperate as it has because there's a lack of resources now. That's what the issue is. And you know how it is when you got a dependency. You're gonna figure out, like, Pookie ain't come up for nothing, okay? You're gonna figure out how to get to it. But it's more to this than that, because we got the cops showing up with the chariot card. So I don't know if maybe perhaps in that ambition to satisfy that desire, or fill that need, something destructive was done, and that caused for law enforcement to engage or to intercept in some way, shape, or form. But like I said, this is definitely giving streetwalker vibes, all in a lower vibration, mind you, because I would never say that about the Nine of Pentacles on a regular, but this is literally like everything that somebody, because that's why the Hierophant is here. It's like a judgment. The Hierophant can be like a judge. But you know what it is, because it's not the Justice card. It's particularly with this King of, or with this is somebody getting karma back it might be, well, certainly it's of a spiritual nature, but it's being enacted by, and I just got chills on my body, all over my body. It's being enacted by whomever this man and or woman was in. When we talking about the kingpin, like whomever they were in cahoots with. No coincidence. I'm talking about Nino Brown, talking about Pookie. It's like somebody literally went from being Nino Brown to Pookie, but not just on account of, yes, of course, the lifestyle caught up with him, but it's like more, it's being, how can I say this? It's like on the tip of my tongue. It's like there's an enforcing happening, like some enforcement of karma happening on a material level, whereas like perhaps some, maybe say the plug is after him, or speaking of it in drug terms, but it don't have to be that, but whatever equivalent of energy this shakes out to be. But say like say he is the connect, is really what I mean to say. Like the connect, whomever, say Nino Brown cops. As a matter of fact, I think that eventually there did, or was that Sugar Hill? I can't remember. But I think eventually there was kind of like a war between who Nino used to work for. I think they were Italians, where he used to buy his product from them, and then he wanted to step out on his own, like the age-old story. And then there was like turf wars about that and this and that. But that's what this is giving me. It's like, yeah, he's made some poor mistakes, and life in general is definitely throwing him for a loop on account of on account of choices that have been made. But it's being intensified by someone that feels that physically, practically, he's indebted to them, or they're indebted to them. Like they got a bone to pick with whomever this is, and they want payback, street justice, something. They want something back for what they've lost, whether it be through him and his losses. Maybe he done smoked up the product, swallowed the product, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like fumbled the bag in some way, shape, or form, and he didn't have, the money to, you know how it go. But somebody has taken a great loss here, and now is inflicting this loss upon him. So it could literally be, I don't even know, like somebody could be on a run. Maybe that's what the Five of Pentacles was, because they had to leave their house for safety reasons and had to get out of Dodge. Or, yeah, with the Five of Swords, the Seven of Swords showed up. Yeah, like could have even had a run-in with someone that got physical. And then, like I said, then went to do something desperate for that money, or, it could be, this is somebody that's going through hell right now, because it could be the addiction on their back, this relationship that's dragging them to hell. They owe whomever they owe, maybe multiple people at this point in time. And the law is on their back for what they tried to do to try to alleviate some, literally, like I said, trying to alleviate some of their losses, but not doing it the way that's, would be spiritually sound, by way of that, accepting that cup in the Four of Cups, just going about it in every other dark, diabolical way. But it's because the mind is not right. Like I said, the addiction is running the mind and the senses. So there's a need to satisfy that, but there's also a need to really secure your own safety. Like I was saying, Spirit was on high alert. And so somebody was really desperately looking to do something drastic, really looking to take a big risk to try to eliminate some of this debt on their back in that Ten of Wands. But it's like, it ain't going nowhere. It's getting worse and worse. It's like every time they running away from the bag now, because every time they try to do it by some diabolical means, with the Three of Swords, it's like a dead end. It's a dead end. And I just got the sense that someone else, this partner might have routed out. Yeah, like something's going awry here. With the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Wands, this Three of Pentacles is some type of plot and plan by soul family. So it's like who, and it's like everyone that this person would have thought that they could count on is showing themselves to be more of an adversary than an ally. The partner that they thought they had, or maybe because just the resources ain't flowing, like she's on her way out or is out, and so it's like literally one thing after the other. And he's trying to figure out what to do next. Still fixated on that coin, but you need to be fixated on a cup. Something to really nourish your soul right now, because man, this is wild. Or that's the pill. Like I said, like that's the fixation on the pill. I'm not gonna take this because I really just, well, I mean I could, but I really just want one more. But this is the this cycle coming up again. And what was this Nine of Pentacles before? Oh, that there may have been a breakup. Like I said, with the Two of Cups. Yeah, like, damn. And here he is back to square one, by his lonesome, or about to be. It's like literally tower after tower. I'm surprised the damn tower didn't come out. Like completely in total like bewilderment as to how he got here when he worked so hard otherwise. It's just a total 180 from what his anticipations were, what he was literally working towards. Somehow like the rug got swept under his feet. Yeah, look at this, Seven of Swords, because these ambitions were all wrong. Overambitious and overindulgent, got lost in primal nature. Yeah, still like lost in La La Land somewhere. Underworld, that's what I hear. Lost in the underworld. And when it all came down to it, because he ain't really coming up as much, but a knight, the King of Cups did come up, and did the King of Wands, well, yeah, some kings did come up, but they're not on the board. It's like he was playing with some high level energies that ultimately chewed him up and spit him out once he couldn't produce anymore, once he fumbled whatever it was he was supposed to be making good on. He had one job. I don't know what that one job was, but this is someone that did not complete that one job in excellence, or at least not to satisfactory quality of those whom he is, submissive to, or to whomever it matters. Because not only are things has the bottom fallen out from the stability that he had acquired, the gates kind of closed on what he was pursuing, And now all tables are turning in on him, from the partner, from the accomplices, from associates to superiors, like everything is just falling away. And it's so astounding that it doesn't even feel real. It's like, what? Just a week ago, shoot, just yesterday, it was all good. What's this? Here's that King of Cups again. What's the King of Cups here for? Fool. Or that could be the drunkenness. That could be that. That's why the King of Cups keeps coming up. Oh, yeah, with the Seven of Cups. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is really like somebody, and it's a shame because they had opportunities to start over, to see their way out of this predicament, but they kept going back into it. They had opportunities to end this cycle, to heal, to sober up, to release themselves from these from the clutches of whatever this society or whatever engagement this was. And they just kept going right back in for more, right back in every time. And I get the sense it was because, look at this, with the Seven of Pentacles, it was more so on account, and the Seven of Cups, it was on account of the resources to continue to fund the satisfaction, the sensationalism of whatever the dependency was, the lifestyle that also was able to fund that dependency or fuel it. It was subtly this at first. It started off as more practical obsession or fixation on possession of practical stability, but once the mix of dependency got in there, it became that, like, kind of like I said, between Pookie and Nino Brown. Nino just wanted to come up like every other man in the hood, and then ego took over, and that was ultimately his downfall. But Pookie, well, that dark passenger took over, because he went from just trying to get money. As that lifestyle leads, you go from trying to survive to thrive, and then becoming a villain ultimately. And then the disparity between him and Pookie, where Pookie had gotten cleaned up, got off of the stuff, and then went right back into the game. For what? Because he also wanted, he was offered resources, to be the informant or to work with the law enforcement at that time. But he wasn't strong enough. He didn't have the will to withstand that temptation. So going back into that lifestyle, back into that environment. This is somebody that may have, tried to find ways to kind of like, what's the right way to say it, to kind of like distance himself from the worst of this experience, like kind of trying to justify his means to some degree, like, well, I'll do this, but I won't do that. Or, okay, I'm a stick in there, but I'm not going to engage in this. Like, maybe he won't kill nobody, you know what I mean? And perhaps, Nino Brown probably said that too. And in the end, he killed his own best friend, So it's like, once this dark energy gets a hold of you, and it consumes you, it possesses you, it becomes, your attachment. You really don't have much control over the things that you'll do to satisfy that thirst, and literally that thirst in one way, shape, or form. Whether it was because he owed somebody, whether it was because he needed to drink or needed to numb himself with the narcotics, needed to just have a place to live, or to sustain himself, to have this image of, with the star here, to have this image, this persona of success, whatever it is, it's all a narcotic at the end of the day. Fame, clout, coin, whatever you can think of, whatever it is that starts to take over your best judgment and push you to do things that you on a normal day in a normal mind, wouldn't really choose to do. Yeah, it's all addictive. Excuse me. And that's what this lifestyle became. It became addictive, like, with the Knight of Wands. He couldn't curb his impulses, his urges anymore. And then again, because he indulged more, it's like he would go back into the life or get connected, detached from one thing and get attached in another way. And that would drag him into, either back into that cycle by way of the temptation, or it would drag him into some other dependency, and then it would just compound on one another to the point where eventually he needed to cope. He needed to self-medicate and numb himself from all the stress and anxiety that he was going through just to keep up in this world that he just shouldn't have been in, that he had every opportunity to exit stage left or right, whichever way is the right one. But he kept going back in for more. Damn, man. Well, I don't even know what to say about that. On Christmas at that. And it's like a reef too. Like what? I don't know. It's not looking great though. It's not looking great. Because it's still like, here, still he's facing a victory. But again, he's moving back. It's like, So whereas maybe the partner tried to route out, or maybe every time she does, or maybe she will, and he's latching back on, like running back into that that commitment. It feels like to me just out of despair, desperation at this point. Like not wanting to be alone, not wanting to face this alone, not wanting to, really have to come to terms with self. That's probably what it really all came down to. That's what the continuing cycle was, is like to walk away would have meant healing. And that's just way too much alone time and solitude for one person to bear, like to have to overcome an addiction, a dependency, past experiences that, have had a poor outcome. It just was too much. Too much. Now, I don't know where this leads, because it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look good because all the cards are just going backwards. Like he's looking back, he's trying to go back, he's going back. You know what I mean? It's like I can't even project any forward motion in this, because for the highlight of this storyline, probably the best thing for him maybe would be to be locked down, to get away from all of this, and maybe have to sober up, even though I know like you can get a hold of things in jail. But I don't know. It definitely would take a damn miracle to have a change of heart and a change of mind in the midst of all of this pressure between the past haunting you, the present on your back, and having no hope, or at least a very poor outlook for the future. It's like it would almost need to be forced, like with that temperance card. To really let spirit kind of like literally Jesus take the wheel type of vibes. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if I'm supposed to say much more. Like, Merry Christmas? Like, I don't. Wow. Definitely not what I would have. Pardon me. What I would have called for a Christmas message. And I kind of apologize if it brought you down in any way. I really do. Because it definitely wasn't my intention. I mean, I'm tired, but did my energy really transmit this? Like Pookie and Nino Brown? Like, we couldn't do no better than this on this Christmas day? I don't know. I guess it's like a cautionary tale about considering the day, about really following your North Star, doing what you came here to do, and not, at least being intentional about finding your way to that path. This is somebody that literally, like I said, going the opposite way at every opportunity to straighten up. And it's not easy. This world is not set up for it to be easy at all to live righteously. And I don't mean that religiously. I just mean literally just with integrity and truth. There's way more support and value in doing the wrong thing to hurt yourself and to hurt others than there is the opposite. So I'm not judging. I speak kind of jovially about things because I have a strange sense of humor. I really do. And I don't apologize for it. It is what it is. It's not me making, me laughing at someone else's expense per se. But some things, even for myself, I just find funny, or I view it with a sense of humor and upbeatness, because otherwise you pretty much would kill yourself, especially as empathic as I am. If I let everything that I see and sense overtake me the way that it could, I wouldn't even be here right now. And that's real. So, I'm saying what I'm saying. I've said it in jest and in a very lighthearted way, but the reality of it is, this is somebody that just fumbled themselves as the bag. That's why they keep looking toward this Ace of Pentacles, because they fumbled every gift that they had of the divine. This is the depiction of what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul. This is that energy here. That's somebody that was after the material upgrade, the material influence, measurement, affluence, all of that good stuff, to be a part of the in crowd, the elite, to be the man on the top of the pyramid, top of the food chain, all of that, by any means necessary, by any casualty, come what may. And in the end, literally lost his whole soul. At least at this point, the grip on his soul, the control of his spirit and soul in this human experience, to the point where he's just doing anything. Now, at this point, probably more to survive than anything else. thriving is like so distant off in the future that I don't know. But again, as I said, this is, if anything, it's that tale, that cautionary tale for us to stay focused, to really stay focused on what you're here for, what you feel called to do authentically, organically, passionately, purely passionately, lovingly, and light and truth and honor and integrity, making sure you're not doing anything to intentionally hurt anyone else, or yourself for that matter, because nothing, no reward or return for that energy is worth it. It's not, it will never match up. But I know if you're in your star energy or in Queen of Pentacles or sitting in the strength, like, I don't really need to tell you that, quite honestly. This is just me trying to turn it around, but I don't know. I don't really know what the point of this, of zoning in on a message such as this today is for, but I receive it as I will, and I hope that you take what resonates for you and leave the rest. I'll definitely be back tomorrow with another one, tomorrow, Tuesday, and there's a full moon tomorrow. Oh, that's probably a lot of this too, the purging, because tomorrow there's a full moon in Cancer. It's not till the evening, so I'll have a little bit of time to kind of get into that tomorrow. I just didn't have the energy to try to tap into that today. But it's a Cancer moon. A lot of that is it's very healing and cleansing, but it's also can be very emotional as well, particularly in the matters of self-healing and love and and even motherly love, which I kind of equate, like if we're not talking about mother to son or daughter, definitely the love of self, like really nurturing your best interest. So wow. So yeah, this may have been some inflection of that. So we'll see what the message is tomorrow and how it pronounces itself in the energy of the full moon. But definitely begin to govern yourself accordingly. It might be a lot of heavy flow, you know what I mean? Like think about the moon cycle, particularly Cancer being the mother, consider all that angles. It might be a purging of some emotional residue, from all of the filtering that's been happening lately. So yeah, this could just be some one perhaps aspect of a person's story or angle, but you may have your own purging. Like I said, we all have had our addictions, our obsessions, or something that we've held on to or that's been projected onto us that didn't necessarily belong to us, but we carried it as our own, and then it became a part of us. And a lot of that is probably mixed up in this energy here. Everything has an origin, you know what I mean? People don't just wake up being this way. Addictions come from a very a root cause, and usually from childhood trauma, quite frankly, so to even have the propensity to be in an addictive mindset usually comes from childhood experiences in one way, shape, or form, not to mention the projections that reinforce that as we mature. But for sure, the seed has to have been planted at an impressionable point in life. So now's the time to really heal that. And maybe that is the hope for an energy such as this, to finally get to that root so this hamster wheel can just stop, this continuous cycle of karma that he's been led, ushered out of, I should say, multiple times. He finally closed the door, and with this world card, start something fresh, like a new healing cycle. That would be the hope for anyone, for any of us and for all of us that still have some healing to do. And hell, who doesn't, you know? So I guess that's what it comes down to generally for us all, just preparing to release, relax, relate, and release, literally. Relax in this full moon cycle, relate in the ways that this intel is coming up, like the revelations. Cancer is definitely a very intuitive sign, so things could be coming up in the psyche particularly. That's probably why a lot of the cup energy was pronounced coming up in the psyche, that have been, maybe stale water or still water that needs to be flushed. And release, literally, to let some things go, to forgive yourself, forgive others, and release as much of the past, particularly the past of you, that is no longer serving, that's not nurturing the highest, most supreme aspect of you at this time. So, all right, anyway, I'm fading fast, and thank you for listening. Again, Merry Christmas to you. And tomorrow's Kwanzaa, so there's that. I can't say that I've always observed it, but my son was asking me about it, so I am at least going to teach him a little bit about each day or whatever. It just only seems right, I guess. I don't know. I guess. For educational purposes, at least. Yeah, so if you celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah, that I think has passed by now or about to. I don't know where we are with that. Any holiday there is, I wish you a just joyous holiday season, and a very creatively conscious cosmic season that we're in, with the intensity that we're all experiencing, that there be of liberty and consciousness for you to really just evolve in the most supreme way you possibly can right now, with the flow, though, with the flow of the universe, not against it. That won't do you any good right now. Go with the flow. All right, so with that being said, again, enjoy the rest of your holiday. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.